Well, Jump Force. I played it, and now my face is stuck in this frown. Actually, that's a complete lie. This is how I actually feel about this whole situation. Namco. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Man, what happened here? Jump Force. This game had every right to be great with all these iconic characters, and yet it just wasn't. So, what makes Jump Force a complete dumpster fire? Let's find out. This is Jump Force. Now, I just want to disclaim that I don't watch a lot of anime myself. However, just because I don't watch anime, it doesn't mean I don't know all these characters, because I actually do. Not all of them, but still enough to know how they would act normally. That being said, Jump Force takes a bunch of characters that were introduced in the famous Japanese magazine Shonen Jump and have them team up to save the world. You start the game as a regular person who's given advanced cybernetics to fight like famous anime characters. Frieza and other villains from the Shonen universe are basically coming together to take over the world. Yeah, the story's not very deep to be honest, but then again, most animes really aren't, so it's not very fair to compare. That being said, the dialogue for the characters barely represents how the characters act in their respective animes. Let this be foreshadowing for how the game as a whole is handled. Oh, boy. The aesthetics. Okay, let's try and talk about what little good things there are in this game first. Well, I will say that graphically speaking, the game does look pretty okay. Now, the art style itself is pretty bad, all things considered, but for what it has to work with, it does do the best it can do. Also, the flash effects that are present within the gameplay are really well done, so I'll have to give the game some credit when it's due. And finally, the sound design is actually pretty good, complete with over-the-top sound effects for punching and the many powerful attacks. But that's enough positivity, let's whine about how much this game screws up. As I said before, the art style just does not fit the design of these characters very well at all. One of Jump Force's most embarrassing mistakes is the fact that all of the characters' facial expressions almost never change at all, even if it completely goes against a character's natural facial expression. Like, Goku is actually a very lighthearted person and usually only frowns when things get serious, but in Jump Force, what even is happiness? And don't get me started on this scene with Vegeta. Also, the music that plays when you're in the main hub, it starts out alright, but then it just becomes softcore porn music. Listen. Pretty stupid, right? Finally, there's the character customization, which on paper is a great idea. But trust me, this isn't Sonic Force's character creation, oh no. Your options here are extremely limited, since most of the options just make you look kind of similar to already existing anime characters, making every OC come off as unoriginal. Oh boy, aren't we off to a great start. Okay. Truth be told, the actual game itself is honestly pretty okay for what it is. Jump Force is a 3D fighting game where you run around a 3D map fighting in anime-like battles. You have basic attacks, can teleport out of the enemy's combo, and can perform special moves to deal massive amounts of damage to your opponent. I will admit that for me at least, the roster of characters you have and can unlock is pretty good. At least, in my opinion. You can never make it too clear nowadays. I also should point out that Jump Force is a 3v3 fighting game, but not 3v3 as in Marvel vs. Capcom, no, not even close. Instead, all your characters share the same health bar, and when it reaches 0, you will still lose the match. So really, what was the point, Namco? You wanna know what else sucks in this game? The computer players. If they're not deleting your health bar away, they're being total pushovers, just taking the punishment with no remorse. I actually managed to develop a strategy for most of the fights in the single player campaign. First, land a heavy attack, then proceed with a combo of light attacks. Rinse and repeat for the next few hours. So even though the gameplay's pretty okay, it doesn't make the CPU fights any better because they really suck. Honestly, I feel like I should be more mad than I am right now, but honestly, I'm just so disappointed at Namco for how rushed the game feels. It could have and should have been great, but instead, it's yet another reminder why it's never a good idea to rush games to meet a deadline. Period. So, I mean, what else is there to say? Jump Force is such a disappointing fighting game that it actually hurts. And it had so much potential, too. Now, I know there will always be great anime fighting games like Dragon Ball FighterZ and J-Stars Victory Versus, but, oh my god, this game had every reason to succeed. And yet, it's another reason why we shouldn't rush games to meet a deadline. Because nothing good comes out of it. It doesn't matter if it was released on time. If it's not finished, it doesn't mean crap. With that said, I'm going to give Jump Force a 1 out of 5. Till then, I'm the Super Gamer, and I need some time alone. I'll see you all next week.